Torah reading today begins, y'all are standing here. It's in the plural. Moses is addressing the full community. And to be sure that message of inclusion is clear, the text enumerates the chiefs and elders, men, children, women, even the stranger within the gates, from the highest ranking to the lowest. Even those not here with us this day, which the rabbis interpreted to mean all future generations. All of us were there, preparing to enter the promised land. The verb that's used, nitzavim, isn't the usual word for standing. It only occurs a few times in the Torah. Moses and Aaron nitzavim when they're confronting Pharaoh. The angels who come to deliver the promise of a child to Abraham and Sarah do it too. As do, interestingly enough, Datan and Aviram, two of those who rebel against Moses. It's more than just standing. It means to be firmly planted, committed, unshakable. It puts me in mind of another term that's come into use in the past maybe 10 years or so, upstander. In case you haven't encountered it, the word's often used in social justice material, especially anti-bullying curriculum. It was first popularized in Facing History and Ourselves. They describe it like this. An upstander embraces the challenge to speak out, to do the right thing, and make decisions that help create positive change in our world. They make a conscious choice to step in instead of stand by. Some of their acts are big and some are little, but none are too small to deserve attention. Its opposite is bystander, someone observing from the sidelines. That seems like a fitting interpretation of nitzavim. But what a tall order. The entire community, every last member from youngest to oldest, the leaders and the just plain folks, standing firmly committed before God. Think for just a moment. What might we be able to accomplish if we could really stand so firmly united together? What injustices could we fight against? What would it mean to take a stand that truly encompassed everyone? It's almost beyond imagination. The realists here are already thinking, yeah, can't happen. There's no way to get everyone to believe so emphatically in a single idea. And you're right. Because what unified the people in Torah was their agreement to enter into God's covenant. And we may be monotheistic, but we're far from monolithic. There are many gates of prayer, many faces of Torah, many ways to experience God, and many, many different ways that we can all choose to stand up. So if the passage doesn't mean that we all stand up and agree on everything, which really would be a little bit dull, what does it mean? Well, first, I believe it means we're all obligated to be involved, to take an active part in the community, to choose life and blessing, to do the work of tikkun olam, to be upstanders, not bystanders. We'll all find different ways to embody our commitment to be partners with God, but we cannot stand idly by and leave the work to be done by others. Second, we need to recognize the intrinsic value of all members of the community, even those with whom we disagree. To respect and honor those who make choices different from our own. We all belong. Men, women, children, leaders, workers, strangers in our gates. We all stood together at Sinai. We all stand together now. This diversity is one of the things that has allowed the Jewish people to survive for thousands of years, and it will sustain our growth in the future. There's a beautiful Talmudic teaching that each one of us has our own letter in the Torah, and the rule that a Torah scroll must have every single one of those letters in order to be valid. Furthermore, every letter has to be clear and distinct, just like our independent personalities are. All of those separate letters combine to form our holy text, just as we all come together, a collective of individuals, to form a Kahila Kadosha, a holy congregation. Finally, we have the reassurance from Torah that this is something we are capable of doing. The obligation to stand up, to walk in God's ways, to keep the commandments, these are not too far away from us, even if it might sometimes seem so. Torah reassures us. They're in your mouth and your heart that you may do them. What does it mean to have mitzvot in our mouths and our hearts? It's fully embracing, taking the words into your heart, and sharing with the world, speaking up. Interesting though, mouth comes first. Sometimes you have to speak up even if you aren't 100% sure. This is similar to the response of the Israelites to God before the 10 Commandments are given. Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will listen. We agreed to accept and follow the mitzvot before we'd even heard what was involved. May you and your loved ones be blessed with a year of sweetness. May you be inscribed and sealed for good. May we all find courage to stand up in the coming year. And may we and Temple Shir Shalom be firmly planted. Gmar Chatima Tova.